You're now listening to D&D live on demand. What up, world? Welcome back to another episode of Breaking Command, a D&D football podcast. Of course, it's your man DH, and as always, we got the brother from another in the building, Dee Middy. Dee Middy, what up, bro?
Feeling good, feeling great. How about you, my boy?
I'm feeling spectacular. The Washington Commanders are 7-5 and are completely in the driver's seat to make the postseason after what seemed to be a dead year early in the season after about 6 weeks.
Yep.
So a lot has happened since the last time we spoke, and we're going to get into that. But before we do, we want to remind our listeners that if you're tuning in, you are a fan of this podcast, and we greatly appreciate you. So if you would, just do us a favor, make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend, and if you feel so inclined to leave us a 5-star review, you can get your 5 seconds of fame. That's it. That's all. Once again, we appreciate you for tuning in. Go ahead, hit that subscribe button. Stop playing around, man. You already know you like this joint, so go ahead, hit that subscribe. But Dee Middy, man, we're back. We're talking about the Week 12 recap of the Falcons, of the Commanders, beating the Falcons,
Yes,
in kind of dramatic fashion. Give me your initial thoughts.
I must say, I went into the game with a mindset that I knew it was going to be one of those boxing matches. It wasn't going to be. The records didn't only show how evenly matched they was. I focused on the Falcons having a great running attack and Washington having a great rushing defense. And it made me feel like, with that being said, who wins the battle of the trenches? Who wins the running game aspect will be victorious. And also turnovers. And lo and behold, it was Washington. B-Rob getting this 100-yard game. Kudos.
Yeah, shout out to B-Rob getting that 100-yard game. He had 105 yards to be exact, man. Average 5.8 yards, 8 carry. Ridiculous day for him on the ground. I'll say this, man. Watching the Commanders in all black on yesterday, it was great to see them. It was honoring Sean Taylor that day. We won't get into that at length right now.
No.
But you know, to have the defensive type of day that they had yesterday was right on cue with how Sean played. So definitely shout out to the team for really responding. And we go back to what the defense has been doing all season. Well, recently, especially during this run, they've been playing great football. They've been you give up a little bit, you bend, but you don't break. They've been making crucial turnovers when it was time to make those turnovers, and you can see by ending the game with with Kendall Fuller getting the pick. Last week they had a pick 6.
Great job, man. Great job.
And 9-4 is just making plays every week. And you love to see it. So just give a big shout out to the defense. That's the main takeaway that I have from this game. The defense, and then like you said, the running game was able to get the job done on a rainy Sunday afternoon to defeat the Falcons and keep their playoff hopes alive and stay in the driver's seat, man.
Absolutely,
Yeah.
man. I feel like they also went with the coaching matchup. Ron and Jack showed that Dean Peace and Arthur Smith wasn't going to out scheme them. And I had a text from my good boy buddy Phil. He said, "Man, they don't make adjustments." Man, he specifically pointed out JDR don't make adjustments, but he made adjustments. And shout out to Christian Holmes stepping up with 25 Benjamin St. Juice being out. Stepping into that nickel role, and I like that, man. I like the fact that it was next man up on defense.
And Dee Middy with that, man, the next man up mentality. I think the tandem of Antonio Gibson and Brian Robinson on the offensive side of the football, rushing the ball, is kind of like taking the full advantage of running back by committee. And I don't want to, there's no disrespect with that term, but it's just the same way this whole season has been. We're rolling with the hot hand. They're kind of rolling with the hot hand on a weekly basis. So Brian Robinson getting 18 touches, 105 yards. Antonio Gibson getting 9 touches, 32 yards, but also getting more special teams reps with Dax Milne being out. We also saw 4 carries from Jonathan Williams, 4 carries from Curtis Samuel, Terry McLaurin had a reverse, and Taylor Heineke had one scramble that was for a loss. So a lot of guys touched the ball in a rushing fashion, and I think for them to have that type of offense this late in the season, it kind of lets you know this is who we are. We're a run first team,
Yeah.
especially with four at the quarterback. We're going to be a run first team, and we're going to try to pound you because you think about the last 5 games that are coming up, you're going to need some ball control. You got the Giants twice, you got the 49ers, you got Cleveland, and then you got Dallas. So you're going to need to be able to control the game as best as you can, try to keep it away from getting into a shootout situation. And I think we could see more of these kind of low scoring, and it's not really low scoring, but more of these
Right.
below average scoring type games for the Commanders as they push towards the end of the season.
And I want to just elaborate on that. When you have a quarterback like Heineke, which you either want to get the ball out of his hands fast or have a adequate running game to not only be moving the ball down the field, but keep the ball out the other team's hand, regardless of who the quarterback is. You don't want to put your defense in positions where they're panting and their hands on their hips. You know what I mean? So I think that offense works it's conducive to the defense.
And Devian, I'm glad you said it, man, because I want to say this, man, and to everyone listening, I hope you know us by now. Regardless of who's under center, I'm going to root for them and support the team. But here's my gripe with Taylor Heineke at quarterback.
Talk about
Now,
it.
this is our show, okay? So if anyone has any problem with me saying this, then you're gladly to fast forward because we don't want you to leave the show. I want you to watch, but I want you to fast forward through this if you don't like what I'm getting ready to say. But the team is winning in spite of Taylor Heineke.
I believe that.
And there is going to come a time at the end of this season where Taylor Heineke is going to cost you a game. And I'm not saying that to be pessimistic or be negative. I'm saying that because his track record shows that he's going to blow you a game. As you can see in some of the throws that he makes, he had 2 key throws, and I'll look to. It's the throw that he made was the interception was before halftime, where you have an opportunity to get the ball and go down at least try to get 3, and he literally forced the ball in the middle of the field. It looks similar to the one. Remember the one against the Vikings where he threw it high to Logan and it was
Yes,
right in the middle of
yes,
the field. It
yes,
looked like a similar
yes.
play call. But they tried to force it right in the middle of the field, and there was like 2 white jerseys. Now, mind you guys, they were in all black. Okay, if you didn't know who the Commanders were, then boy, go see your eye doctor. But the Commanders were all black, and the Bucks were. I'm sorry, the Falcons were in all white. You could
Same
see,
division, wrong team.
yes, you could see the Atlanta Falcons from my house. And I live 45 minutes from the stadium.
From
But
Lando. Yeah.
yes, you could see them from here. And he threw it directly to him in a crucial spot that not necessarily saying that could have made or broke the game, but that's an opportunity for you to go up even more going into halftime. And the
Thank
fact
you.
that he made that bad throw, it was terrible.
And so I'm gonna preface what I'm gonna say with I respect someone who stands on accountability. He did say that was a bonehead throw. He should have went the 10 on the under route. It made me feel like as he threw it and the pick happened, were you trying to upstage? And I don't want to say upstage. Were you trying to show that you can do what Wentz can do with that throw? Because it was at first the way the pick happened, I thought it was double coverage because the safeties and the nickel um, cornerback came down like it was like ooh Christmas, and the DB that was playing the receiver also was kind of playing kind of like a bell technique behind the receiver, like okay he throw this thing I'm on it. You knew the I'm pretty sure he knew this coverage better than I did, how I just depicted it, how I just put it out there. So you still made that throw knowing you had 2 receivers. I think Logan or whoever the tight end that was on the field at that time, they did more so like crossing routes under, and Curtis was open to his right, and the tight end was open to his left, and you could have easily made one of those throws.
Bro, he has every game he makes 2 throws.
Yeah.
2. And it's okay. I'm going to beep that out. He makes 2 throws. and he's been getting bailed out sometimes with a lot of these throws.
Yeah,
But the O throw he made yesterday was threw it right to him in the middle of the field, and then the second one was when he threw it high and tight on a comeback route to Terry McLaurin when the ball should have been low and away. That ball should have been to the sideline, low and away, so Terry can get his feet down, get his knees down, make the grab, and fall out of bounds. Instead, he throws it late to the inside and didn't put no mustard on it, and then the ball almost got picked. But then you fast forward to the play where he overthrew Terry in the back of the end zone, where
that's the one I was about to go to. Thank you.
you put a little touch on it, he might get it. But
You lost it.
right. And see, and even with a situation like that, with a throw like that, in the back to the back pylon on the back line, you go is where is my guy or nobody. You know what I'm saying? But Terry McLaurin is also, I mean, last time I checked, he doesn't play shooting guard for the Wizards, though. Like he's not 6'6". Like, you have to give him an opportunity to try to make a play, especially if you're going to heave it down to him. You gotta give him a chance to make the play.
Right. And I feel like the whole point of what we're trying to say is with Heineke and those throws is that you know the play to make. Take what the defense gives you and live to fight another day.
Exactly. And so now, granted, I will say this because there was a huge debate today in the Twitter spaces about Taylor Heineke and his play. We have some defenders of Taylor Heineke, and we also have some realists of Taylor Heineke. And I think just in general, with players, we should be able to criticize and view things objectively. When Taylor Heineke makes a great throw, guess who's the first person saying, "Whoa, bro, that's a great throw"? It's me. Okay. But when he makes the bad throws, the bonehead throws, he has to be able to be subjected to criticism like everyone else. And the part that's killing me with this is that, you know, 14 of 23 for 138, 2 touchdowns and 1 interception. On the surface, that's not a bad day. That's not a bad day. But as the quarterback, it's showing you something. And granted, we're doing well running the ball, but it's showing you something. If they're like, bro, keep the ball out of his hands. We don't want him to have to throw the ball. And that's essentially what we're doing. Because when he throws the ball, you have a lot of bad throws. So I'm just, my thing is, and I mentioned this to you earlier, is that it's wild because we talk about the bad plays that he has, and he does make some bad plays. But we shouldn't have to defend every good throw he plays, every good throw he makes, because a good quarterback just makes good throws. Like, that's the
That's
thing.
absolutely right. That's absolutely right. What you just basically said in a nutshell is every quarterback should get the same exact type of criticism. When you're out there about to give up the game, that goes from Mahomes to Peterman. You all get the same praise. Yes, you made your NFL quarterback throws, and then there was a couple where you threw, and there was a couple of throws Heineken made on the run.
Good throws, good clean throws, and he was able to, press it and get it done, put the ball on him quick. That's good. But that's what you expect your quarterback to do. You expect him to make the good throws, the smart throws. It's the bad throws that he make that you like, bro, how could you not see him right there?
And to me, that goes into my stance. And I'm going to say this. If you don't like what I'm about to say, just fast forward through it. Which is the reason why I feel like if you went and you got Carson Wentz, because he spelled or he was the answer to those mistakes that Taylor makes. That's why you brought Wentz in. That's why I don't see it should be a problem. To me, to sum it all up, is this: Heineke best attribute is his moxie, is his attitude, his rapport in the locker room. That is his best attribute. Him being there with the guys, him, having that, punch me in the mouth, I'm gonna throw two back type of mentality, and the guys love it. I also see that Wentz has some of that in him too. He's going to fight for his team. I mean, I'm not there in the locker room every day, but to hear Heineke say in a press conference that Wentz invited a lot of the team that agreed that they were going to his house for Thanksgiving showed me like I'm here for a reason type of stance, and I'm gonna be a locker room guy. I'm not gonna be a cancer. I'm gonna be a locker room guy.
He's definitely being a good teammate right now. Like
Absolutely.
definitely, and I love that for him. And understanding where he's at right now in his career, and I get it. Because literally, I'm telling you this. He's a two pick game. He's a two interception game away from getting back in.
And exactly,
Because it's
I
coming.
it shouldn't get to that point because if you ask me, okay, we got the Giants up next, and we're gonna get to that. But hopefully, maybe we can allude to what I'm about to say with this. You get to this Giants game, you're 5-1. You've been 5-1, 6-1 since week 7. And this Giants game, which is important to your playoff push, if Heineke throws 2 interceptions in the first half and you're down by 2 touchdowns,
No, sir. He out.
no, listen to me, and feel me when I say this. Let him finish it, and let all the Heineke stands and guys like me be like, you know what? We've seen this day coming. Let him live with it. And in that bye week, going into the next Giants game, then you put Wentz back in. Because don't take him out and then let all the people like, no, Heineke, it's gonna be all right. Okay, no, let him play through the game. Let him live through this loss. And then when they go into the bye week and Carson starts showing like, hey, I'm ready, I'm able, let's go, let's start another run. That's what you do coming out the bye.
And Dee Middy, I'll add to your point as a caveat. We did win. So we are excited and we're glad that we won. But let me tell you, there's not
Yes,
a
sir.
team that played a game on Thursday, on Sunday, or Monday that doesn't see situations where they could get better. Ron Rivera said it in his press conference. They said the offense needs to do more. He said, because we're taking care of business. The offense needs to do more. And
John Allen said the same thing. Don't let a loss. I don't want to paraphrase what he said. What he said was powerful, but basically, I'm gonna have to paraphrase. Don't let a loss have you going back to the drawing board and understand where your flaws are and what you need to work on. I'm not calling myself. I'm calling everybody out. I
yeah,
know that's what when he said that, and
he said, I'm not calling anybody out. I'm calling everybody out. I love that.
including myself because I'll be the first person.
Yeah. And with that, bro, I'm just saying, bro, Heineke every week has an opportunity to fix what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be fine with him if he just makes some of those bad throws, bro. Them throws are terrible, man. And I'm telling you, we've been getting lucky. But those bad throws are gonna cost us a game. And it's not gonna be nice. Now, granted, it's hard for us to like nice things because we haven't had nice things as a fan base. Okay.
Sound like
But
Chris Harris.
right. But I'm saying this, and I'm gonna keep it 100 that if he don't get it together, it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
It's gonna be a problem, and I hate that for him. I'm glad we're winning. And I know we sound super somber, but we're really not. We're just tired.
Mm-mm.
Um, but I will say this, man: the Commanders right now are 7-5 and are in the driver's seat to make the playoffs. Currently, right now, the standings they are number 7 after the Seattle loss, so they are number 7. So the playoffs started today. The
All
playoffs
four.
all 4 NFC East teams would be in the playoffs. This is the first time that this has happened. The first time it actually could happen with the 3 wildcard teams. But the Commanders have, came back. After a downtrodden start, they came and found a way and got it going. And with a 5-game stretch here going out, you got to close out the season and you have an opportunity to get double-digit wins, which is something that we all said that we wanted to take place. Me, I'm going with 11-6 because I feel like there is gonna. I mean, the streak has been going well, but I feel like there is gonna be a game where they're just gonna take an L. I mean, it's gonna happen. Maybe not. I hope not.
Right.
You know,
Because my division record was 4-2 to be able to get to double digit wins and make it to the playoffs, whether it was wild card or the division. Because I don't care what division it is, whether it's the AFC South or the NFC East. You win 4 games in your division. That means out of 17, you need to win 6 or 7 more to get to those double digit wins and make the playoffs.
But these two Giants games are so important coming up
Pivotal.
for the division. Like you really need these to kind of take your claim and kind of put some space in between you and the Giants within your division. If you can somehow find a way to sweep the Giants in these back-to-back weeks, first of all, you give your team a whole lot of momentum
Yep.
uh going into well, you win the first game, you get a lot of momentum going into the bye week, and you come out the bye and getting another victory, you'll have a lot of momentum going to Cleveland. Yeah, Cleveland will be after that.
And the only thing, yeah, we no, I'm sorry, 49ers. I'm looking at the schedule right here. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So yeah, so it'll be Giants by Giants, 49ers. But the only thing that messes up by winning those games and winning four of these next five is not going to Minnesota to play Kirk Cousins to get that get back. Because if they finish second, then we'll be moving up, and then we'll probably be playing somebody else.
I mean, real talk, and I'm gonna keep it a buck. If the playoffs did start today, like they said it would, the only team that I'm not gonna say scared of, but the only team that I think the only two teams I think that would be difficult for us would be the 49ers if we had to play them
Right.
and Dallas because I feel like it was so long ago that we played Dallas. We're a different team, and I don't know how we are going to play
Yeah.
against them yet. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But those are really the only two teams that I'm concerned with. We've beaten Philly, and Philly can be beat. Philly has a habit of taking breaks because you saw that in the Green Bay game. Like they took a break and then they'll just give up plays and they'll just give up stuff. And like I'm just
Yeah.
like, bro, y'all had the opportunity to put your foot on their neck early, and y'all just don't. So I'm not worried about Philly. And I'm not saying I'm not worried about them because I think we're better than them. I'm just saying in a one game situation, I think we could beat them because we just proved that we
Yeah,
could.
absolutely. And that's what NFL playoffs are, is win or go home. And I like our odds against, the teams that we agree upon. The 49ers and the Dallas of the world, we feel like those ought to be the games that you'd be like, I go 60-40 at the opposition. Every other coin, every other chance is 60-40 the other way, excuse me. So
And the caveat to this is that everybody that they could possibly play in the playoffs, they've seen this year at some point or another. They would have
if
seen
not
it,
twice.
right. They've seen Dallas twice. They will see Dallas twice. They'll see the Giants twice. They'll see Philly twice. They seen Minnesota once, and they got a chance with the 49ers down this stretch. The only team that they won't see would be the team coming out of NFC South, which would be Tampa.
Tampa Bay.
Um, but
That'll
they
be another revenge game. This playoffs is, after we're saying it right here, this playoffs can make for great storylines and great games with the Commanders being in the playoffs with revenge games either played this year or from years past. Because if the Bucks win the NFC South and it just so happened that we have to go down to Raymond James or whatever they call that stadium now and play them with whoever the starting quarterback may be, that's going to be a storyline for time, and you'll want to win because we beat them in the playoffs before. I think that was one of Sean. I think that was Sean last year. We beat the Bucks and lost to Seattle in the playoffs that year when we won that playoff game.
man, I'm just saying, bro, this
Sean
season,
Taylor, that is.
yes, this season is shaping up to be something to remember. You look at this point last year, the Bengals were kind of in the same place, and they just started hitting the stride at the same time, and they was playing the best football towards the end of the year. And this team, in my opinion, kind of rivals what they do, except they don't have a similar quarterback as Joe Burrow. But I think this team kind of rivals what they've done, and if they're playing the best football right now, they can kind of ride this wave. And let me tell you, could we dare say that maybe the Washington Commanders, we could see them in the big game in February? Like, I wouldn't know how to act.
No. I mean, I said it before. I said it again. You really going like? I don't care who you are, a Patriots fan. We in the Super Bowl this year. Talk to me now. Like talk to me now. We in here now. Like forget all them rings from yesteryear. We in the Super Bowl this year. Like you would like it'll be so much talk, so much, bro. Like people like my family wouldn't be able to deal with me.
D Middy, I'll say this, man. If the Commanders, first of all, Commanders, find some way to continue on this run and get to the playoffs, we were at least guaranteed one extra episode of Breaking Command, a D&D football podcast. And at this point, that is the goal. We want to have as many episodes as we can. We're hoping to have
Absolutely.
20 episodes this season.
Absolutely.
And that's the
Absolutely.
that we've gotten to the big
And
band
to
and get.
to get there, we're starting with the Giants coming up this week, man. And that 3 week stretch of having to go 2-0 in your division and 1-0 every week, because even in the bye week you need to go 1-0, come out healthy.
And this week, like you said, man, coming up with the Giants, man, we're 2.5 point favorite per DraftKings. So one of the first times that they're favorite in a while. The 7-5 Commanders take on the 7-4 New York Football Giants, who just took a loss to Dallas on Thanksgiving. The Commanders come in with the 15th ranked offense, going against the 19th ranked Giants defense, while the Giants 23rd ranked offense is going against the 14th ranked defense. We're pretty much middle of the road, 15
Yeah.
and 14 for our offense and defense. We have the 18th ranked passing attack and the 10th ranked rushing attack, while the Giants have the 6th ranked rushing attack with the 29th ranked passing attack. So I think we may see a similar type of approach like Atlanta had, where they make a conscious effort to run the ball, give the
Right.
ball to Saquon Barkley and let him do his thing. They might run some read options with Daniel Jones, some RPOs, all that stuff. Look, I think the Giants, for the Giants to be 7-4, I think they're kind of reeling, like they're coming back to life a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah. Because no disrespect to the wins that they had, they beat NFL teams, regardless of what we want to say. I felt like that run that they had was like nobody had like the rookie. Nobody had tape on this Brian Daboll offense for the first couple weeks, and you were still trying to understand what he was going to do with Daniel Jones, and was he going to go down the field? Was he going to be conservative? And he was able to pull out wins against teams like Tennessee. I believe they did beat Dallas early, if I'm not mistaken. And you had the opportunity to go off on a run, which you did. However, at some point in time, reality sets in. The humble pie is served a lot around these parts in the NFL league.
Yeah, and the Giants did get some quality victories this season. Starting out the regular season, beating the Tennessee Titans, and then beating Carolina. They lost to Dallas. They got swept by Dallas this year.
Okay, I'm sorry.
They beat the Bears. They beat the Packers. They beat the Ravens.
That's one of those wins. Yeah.
They beat the Jaguars, who also just beat the Ravens recently. Lost to the Steelers. Beat the Texans. Lost to Detroit. Lost to Dallas. So they're coming in right now on the 2-game losing streak to play us. So the Giants are gonna be hungry and looking to
Absolutely.
kind of get the job done. But we've proven with our defense that we can stop anybody, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And if we continue to run the ball and limit Taylor Heineke's passing opportunities, limiting his crap throws, then I think we'll be better for it. And I'm just excited, bro. I mean, it's
Yes.
to have meaningful football coming into the first week of December is something that we haven't had in a while, and it's not a fact of we're not 5-7 and having to win out to try to get in. You know what I'm
Right,
saying?
right. It's more so like one game. It's really a one game at a time approach. Truthfully, when it should be that from week one, but it's truly in its rarest form right now. When you're going into what I call Moneyball time, when you go on your playoff runs, your team's identity is in full motion, and it's in full spotlight, and you have to stick with that and be able to rip off wins against teams that are either trying to drown your hopes or build up their hopes for their playoff run.
Yep, and the Commanders are on a 2-game. Their second, 3-game winning streak right now. They would like to extend that to 4 games this week. And like I said, man, a Week 13 victory against the Giants in the Meadowlands to go into your bye at one of the most critical points in your season will be such a bonus to your team and a boost to morale. If they can go and find a way to get a win right now, that'd be a 4-game win streak. You'd be 8-5, and being able to take a break and really be comfortable on your bye week, rest up, get your guys back. I mentioned this earlier today that when we initially saw this week 14 bye at the end of the seat when the schedule came out, we was like, wow, week 14 bye week. Like, bro, that's a long way away. And for them to truly play well throughout this whole stretch and be able to be healthy going into this week and be able to get some guys back, that would be perfect for them at this point in the season to be strong for their last 4-game run after that. So I'm looking for them to come out and play well, man. Dee Middy, real quick, man, what are your thoughts on this Giants game coming up, man?
I must say, I feel the same way going into the Falcons game, going into this Giants game. First of all, don't underestimate your opponent, which I don't feel like nobody in that Commander's locker room is, because I'm pretty sure as professionals and just seeing what those guys do on the field and how they talk, they want to prove themselves to the world every time, every play. They want to prove themselves. Derek Forrest, Deron Payne continuously. That O-line, they want to prove themselves each and every week that they're winners. But you're going against a team in your division that wants to drown your hopes and build up theirs. And I hope that maybe we might get Chase Young back. And if we don't, and he's not on the pitch count, and he comes back this week, so be it. You have a bye week, and then at home against the Giants for those last 4 games. And yeah, he'll play 4 games out the year, but it'll be 4 pivotal games that maybe he might play 7. You know,
and Dee Middy also, after they come back from the bye week, 3 of their 4 final games are at home.
So I don't want to say they rested him. I feel like they really took the time to make sure that he was not only just 99% ready physically, because you come back from an injury. You're never going to be 100% again. So, for him to come out to be 99% physically and 100% mentally, that's what they're reaching for and aiming for. And I do respect that after seeing what they're doing, because you went through 12 games already without him and won 7 of those 12. And hopefully that he does come in and add to a winning culture, hopefully.
Absolutely. Now, Dee Middy, man, we've the mood has been kind of down for this whole podcast. We've been kind of tired. We've been kind of somber. But
for whatever reason that may be.
But we were saving it for our favorite segment. And our favorite segment, as always, is Let's Get Wild. Even with the bad back, I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get excited. I'm ready to get wild. And I'm going to start this week's Let's Get Wild segment with Give the Ball to Terrence. He had 6 targets last week. 6 is not enough. I need that number to double, okay? He needs 12 targets, and he needs 8 catches, and he needs 2 touchdowns at a minimum. Because I'm going to tell you what, against the Giants, against the New York Football Giants, you need to go in there and show them that Terry McLaurin is the best receiver in the NFC and maybe the league. We won't know, but you have to throw him the ball so he can figure it out and get it done. Because let me tell you what, I almost felt like I was going Stephen A. Let me tell you what, Taylor Heineke. Okay, you want to play good football? Give the ball to Terry McLaurin. What are we talking about? Give the ball to Terry McLaurin. That's it. That's all. Ollie, give me the next one. Like, no.
I love it. Hey, bro, I love it. You went straight with Terrence Terrence. You know what? You know I'm going with it.
Where you going?
I'm going to them DBs. Cam Curl.
Yeah.
You haven't been on Let's Wild yet, bro. But you here today, bro.
Yeah, you are.
831. Green dot. Bring it this week, bro. I need a pick from you. I need one pick from Cam Curl. I need you to show that PFF rating just ain't numbers, my boy. I need you to show that you out there balling, my boy. Cam Curl. I need you to get wild in the middle lane.
Get wild.
Cam Curl, I need you to break some show. I need you to get in there. I need you to get down and dirty with it, Cam Curl. I need you this week.
Also, Dee Middy, let me tell you what. My defensive line has been playing well all season. I want them to go and I want them to get in the backfield and I want them to drive Daniel Jones into the ground so far that they find Jimmy Hoffa because you know he's buried under the middle lane. If you hadn't known, go watch your Googles. Go get on your Googles and check it out. Okay? I want them to drive him down into the ground. Like a pile driver. We've been slamming guys every week. Slam the quarterback on the ground. But in a safe matter that does not give you a 15-yard penalty. But I want you to put him down and punish him. That's it. That's it. Let's get wild. Let's go to 8-5. And let's continue to flex our dominance on the whole entire league.
Let's get it.
All right. Now we're back to normal. Let's go back to our professional selves. Also, I forgot to put up my banner for that time, so that's okay. But Dee Middy, let's give our final thoughts on the Week 12 recap and also the Week 13 opportunity against the New York Giants. Dee Middy, give me your final thoughts, brother.
So glad to see this team pull off a win against Atlanta at home in those blackout jerseys. I didn't want to go on 3 on blackout jerseys.
They were gonna be burnout jerseys, bro.
Oh my God, there was gonna be a cellar dweller jerseys, man. But I'm so glad you guys pulled that victory out, man. And it feels like this team is really coming together, man. To see the spirits of the guys who used to win, like Deron Payne and John Allen, coming from winning programs, and wanting to implement that into this locker room, and seeing guys like AG, take on his role, and not only take on his role, but show that he needs his previous role back, and to see Brian Robinson show, nope, I'm not gonna give it up. But all that to say, man, to see these guys step up and play for their coach, saying that they're riding for their coach, they love the energy that he brings. My final thought is this: keep that momentum going into the Meadowlands, and let's get a victory in the Meadowlands. 8-5.
Hey, I love it, man. My final thoughts on the game, man. Listen, you know what the formula looks like. Okay, we know that E equals MC squared. And we know that turning around and handing the ball off to your running backs and letting them do work is what happens. And then you turn around and play good defense. And then when you have to punt, Tressway will put it down in the corner. Okay, we already know what the formula is, and now we're doing the right formula as we go late into the season, and that's what we need to continue to do. I challenge Taylor Heineke to have as perfect a game as he can. Let's put the doubters to bed, Taylor. Put me to bed as far as how I doubt you. Put me to bed. Give me some worry. Take my worry away, bro. Play a complete game where I'm like, you know what? He might just be the guy, okay? Do that for us, man, and make some plays and help this team go to 8-5 at the most critical and crucial stretch in the end of your season. You want to make a name for yourself, young man? This is how you do it. Forget all those other games that you won. Let's work on winning these next 5 games, and then you'll be a legend here in the DMV, and you'll go down in the history books as one of the best quarterbacks and one of the most amazing stories. And I want to see that happen. And Dee Middy, also before we get out here, man, I also want to give big love to the Sean Taylor family, man. The Commanders did their best in honoring Sean this past week. Some fans don't like it. But listen, this has never been a more truer statement. If the family likes it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Because really that's what it's all about, and they're honoring their family member, and that's fine with me. And if the family is cool with it, then it's fine with me. I'll have all the memories of Sean Taylor to hold on to in my mind, which I've been holding on to for the past 15 years, and which will continue to live on in my mind, along with other fans' minds. So regardless of the statues or the displays or anything else, that's all that. We already know what he can do and what he's done on the field and the memories that he's given us. So definitely shout out to the Taylor family, and may your legacy live on, brother.
Much respect, man. I'm gonna be honest, man. I didn't expect nothing more, nothing less of what that tribute was, because I heard the term installation used a lot, and I had a feeling it was going to be in the sense of, something that had his jersey hanging up, maybe some pictures. That's honestly what I thought. When they said installation, I thought it was going to be like some video tribute board that was put in around the stadium or something with a bunch of pictures with the team and things like that. I felt like they didn't do the whole to speak on the doubters and the ones who had something to say about it, because they didn't do a statue. You know why they didn't do a statue, because it's deeper than that. They
Right.
didn't do the statue because you know that FedEx is not going to be up for long. So why build a statue there and then go to the new stadium? Why not build a new statue there with a Darryl Green statue?
Yeah.
And I mean, and whoever else statue, Art Monk statue, Doug Williams statue that they put in at the new stadium. So you know, the installation was what it was. It wasn't cute. It wasn't fancy. It was for the family. It was for the thousands and millions of people who respect Sean Taylor, because Ron Clark and Clint Porter said something that rang true. It's I don't want to use the term crazy. It's so it's big. It's a big thing when that man has touched millions of people after he was gone, and still touching people to this day, inspiring young men and even some young women to go out there and not only be the best, but some to be great safeties, to be great football players after he's gone, and to play in so little time, in a short span.
Absolutely, man. To lead that legacy that he left, I think everybody has a Sean Taylor story or an experience. And I'll save my specific experience for a later day because it's a pretty funny story that I've never told before. So that'll be a good one. But yeah, man, definitely shout out to him and the legacy. And like you said, D Middy, I agree with you. A statue will be coming, I think, at the new location once they get all that taken care of. I think that's going to be one of the first orders of business, man, is to have like your, you know, how Yankee Stadium has, you know, the the plaques in the outfield, and
Kind
you
of like
know
the murals or whatever, the not the forgotten, but
the legend.
the Yankee greats. I
Yeah,
feel like they're going to do the same thing, because you know the Ring of Honor. You know, Washington has a Ring of Honor. You know, that has to be redone when you go into this new stadium, because we know the new stadium is to come.
yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So fans, I'm gonna tell you this: don't worry too much. Just relax. I am entrusting Jason Wright and the organization to do the right thing. um, going forward with the team. And I'm trusting you fans to do the right thing and join us next week on the next episode of Breaking Command, a DND football podcast. Of course, we appreciate you for tuning in. Make sure you like, subscribe, share with a friend. Please leave us a 5-star review. And as always, take command. Left hand up. Who are we?
The Commanders. Hey, I'm not gonna talk about it on air, but a funny joke about that song.
Uh-oh. Guess what? The podcast is ending. You have to see what happened on this joke at the end of the podcast on the blooper reel. Keep listening. Peace and love.
Man, peace, love, and hair grease.
Yeah. And both of us are bald. Bye. Here I am. Here I am. How do you do? Let me see. Red, yellow leather. Red, yellow. I cannot say that. Red, yellow leather. Red leather, yellow leather.
Is
Dog.
it is it red leather, yellow leather?
That's going to bloopers at the end. Red leather, yellow leather. Red, yellow. Dang, I
Red,
can't.
red, yeah. Because I can't
Red,
get past the laughing part. Red leather, yellow leather. I had to pause. I had to actually, you have to pause to do it.
red, red, red letter. I mean, letter. Red leather, yellow leather.
You have to pause to
Red,
do it.
red leather, yellow.
See,
Because what happens is, right, when you say, once you say red leather, you know yellow is coming.
and
So
I know.
that big brain, that's what it is. Red leather, yellow leather. Red, yellow. See? Red, yellow. Oh, well, it looks like we're warmed up. You ready? Make me my moo, A-E-I-O-U. Come and kiss my toes. Out in and lick your nose. Yeah. All right, here we go. 3, 2,